WWE SmackDown has now been on the air for over 20 years, which makes me feel really old because I was a teenager when it debuted. But nevertheless, during this time we've seen many different logos, set designs, rings, and other visuals. Today we're going to dive into this 20-plus year history because this, my friends, is Arena Showcase WWE SmackDown. SmackDown first appeared as a special on April 29th, 1999 on UPN. While we do see some custom graphics for lower thirds, including the blue SmackDown color scheme and logo, everything that we would see in the arena was used for the weekly television show Monday Night Raw. The stage is unchanged, and the only difference at the ring are the aprons, which feature the words World Wrestling Federation on the front and back, with the WWF logo on the sides. The official debut of SmackDown as a weekly episodic television show would take place on August 26th of 1999. The stage area would be one of the most unique setups we've seen at this point, featuring large oval structures above and around the point of entry, which in itself contains an oval-shaped Minitron. The stage extends far to the left, not only featuring lights, but also serving as a platform for the Titantron, which appears here as a large oval. Behind the entire set, we see a large gray, semi-transparent curtain hung, featuring a very unique shape. And up above, we see an oval steel lighting structure. Looking at the graphics for introductions, we can see that compared to the special that aired earlier in the year, there are slight differences, but the overall layout is the same. The show's blue color scheme carries over to the ring area, where the skirts feature the event logo front and back, and WWF.com on the sides. The steps, posts, and ringside padding all appear here in black. Turnbuckle pads are also black with the WWF logo on them, and the ropes here are blue. We would see this design stay consistent through 2000, sometimes appearing mirrored but otherwise not changing. And on August 9th, 2001, we would see the last SmackDown with this logo and design. On August 16th, 2001, SmackDown would debut an all-new look. We would see a new logo and modified color scheme featuring a different shade of blue. The stage would be designed to appear as a fist smashing through a solid object, with broken pieces making up the wall, featuring a mirrored finish. This design sees two smaller Titantrons, one on each side of the fist, with a lit-up WWF logo at the top and a quarter sphere-shaped Minitron down below at the point of entry. Introductions are vastly different for commentary and wrestlers, with commentary seeing a more traditional design, while wrestlers would receive a vertical layout featuring their Titantron video within. In the ring, we see blue ropes return with black turnbuckle pads. Outside, we see black padding, steps, posts, and aprons featuring the new SmackDown logo front and back, and retaining the WWF.com design on the sides. 2002 would bring a few changes to this design. Earlier in the year, we would see the WWE logo updated at the stage area and on screen, as well as the addition of black ropes for the ring and new WWE.com side aprons. By the end of the year, we see the addition of a Sidetron on the far right of the stage, as well as a ring overhaul including silver steps, posts, and aprons. Ropes would return blue, while both turnbuckle pads and ringside padding remain black. 2003 would see a new graphics package for the show, featuring a very dangerous looking design. I mean, geez, it looks like some sort of torture device. The white font featured here is quite unique as well, and the SmackDown logo appears on the bottom of the design. By 2004, we would see a new set of graphics, these a little more traditional and toned down, featuring a blue backdrop, white font, and the SmackDown logo appearing for commentary, with Titantron videos included for wrestlers. While 2005 wouldn't see any notable changes, we would once again see a graphical overhaul in 2006. This design features blue and white name displays, accompanied by steel lighting structures as well as lights. While the inclusion of the Titantron videos returns for wrestlers, we don't see the SmackDown logo appear for either group. By 2007, we would see the show ditch the Sidetron at the right side of the set, and we would get the addition of this blue stripe added to the top of the apron skirt. Other than that, things have pretty much been consistent since implementing this design. But on January 25th, 2008, that would all change. Enter the HD era, accompanied by all new sets, graphics, and ring designs for all televised events. We see a new logo, which drops the exclamation mark and adds some new texture to the letters. The stage area features a large rectangular Titantron, slightly offset to the right. We see backlit panels on the sides with thin LED lights lining the top and bottom. Below, we see a curved video wall, and up above we see a very large LED structure displaying the event logo. There's a large lit-up WWE logo on the left side of the stage, and more backlit panels on the walls between the arena floor and the stage floor, while more LED structures finish off the design behind the Titantron. We would receive new lower thirds for wrestlers and commentary, implementing the color scheme and new logos for both, as well as these artistic new designs. Inside the ring, we see blue ropes with black turnbuckle pads, while outside we would see black and blue aprons with silver ring posts. For 2009, graphics would receive an update for the 10-year anniversary of the show, featuring an all-new design and the inclusion of a Roman numeral 10 accompanying the event logo. The next year, in 2010, we would see more new graphics once again. We see the steel lighting structure look return here, and it kind of reminds me of a look you might see on Monday Night Football or something. This one would stick for a little longer than the previous designs. In 2011, we would see some slight changes over at the stage area. The backlit panels that once accompanied the space next to the Titantron and just below the stage floor have now been replaced with LED panels capable of displaying video and images. In addition, the LED walls just left of the Titantron have been slightly altered in appearance and are now accompanied by a vertical lighting structure. In 2012, we would see a new stage area. The Titantron, entry area, and WWE logo from the previous design would return, albeit now centered with the ramp. However, the designs surrounding the Titantron would not return, and new LED structures would be featured on the left and right sides of the stage, as well as above it. For 2013, we would see a minor alteration in the ring area where ropes would now appear white. The following year, 2014, would mark a new logo for the promotion, which can now be seen at the stage area, on screen, and in the ring on the turnbuckle pads. Other changes at the ring consist of new aprons all the way around, with the front and back featuring a new SmackDown branded design, while the sides now feature promotion for the WWE Network. In 2015, SmackDown would see a new graphics package featuring this sleek blue design with gray font and the WWE logo to the left. This would be used for both wrestler introductions as well as commentary. Another addition for 2015 would come at the ring area, where we see an LED panel in place of the traditional ring skirt on the front side of the ring. On July 26, 2016, WWE would, for lack of a better term, reboot the SmackDown brand, appearing with a whole new live format and would even advertise such in the name, SmackDown Live. The logo for the event has been simplified quite a bit but does retain the same color scheme. On this episode of SmackDown Live, we would see the stage area, which is quite similar to the previous version, featuring mostly the same elements and layout, but it would only be a few weeks until we get a replacement, which we'll cover shortly. Graphics come to us in a clean but rather small look, in fact the smallest we've seen in many years, but I'm not saying that's a bad thing. In the ring area, we see blue ropes, silver steps and posts, black turnbuckle pads, and black padding outside, as well as the return of the LED display for the hard cam apron, which features the new SmackDown Live logo displayed by default. On August 23rd, we would get that new stage area I mentioned previously. Here we would see a fresh new look which truly felt like an overhaul. The video screens above and below are now quite smaller than before. The LED panels to the sides are toned down in both size and design. The stage itself also displays video and images which extends down to the end of the aisle. Also new are the LED-wrapped ring posts, which also display mostly images by default and video for entrances. For the rest of 2016 and even 2017, we'd see the stages for SmackDown Live flip-flop back and forth between this one and the one typically used for Monday Night Raw, and sometimes even a variation containing elements from both designs. In September of 2018, we'd see the blue brand jump to white ropes, which we've seen before in the show's past, but just a few months later in December, they would return to blue. In 2019, WWE and Fox Network would agree on a $1 billion price tag to bring SmackDown to network television every Friday night, and with a date of October 4th set, we would see a new chapter in the SmackDown history book, including all new, everything. The logo here is brand new, and the design sort of resemble the brand's first logo from 99 to 01. The stage would mark the return of the larger video screen layout with one equally as large below. However, these are slightly arched outward. We see lighting structures and LED panels make up the left and right sides of the design, as well as the top. These unique LED structures at the point of entry give the stage some much needed depth and look really good when lit properly. In addition, the stage and ramp areas also featured the ability to display video and images. Lower thirds appear once again a bit smaller in comparison to older designs and feature white font as well as the event logo within. Over at the ring area, we see blue ropes with black turnbuckle pads, as well as LED-wrapped posts and LED panels on numerous sides of the aprons, except for the commentary side where we see traditional skirts featuring the event logo. On March 13th, 2020, SmackDown would come to us from the WWE Performance Center. Michael Cole would state that this is the first time WWE superstars would perform in an empty venue. Apparently, he completely forgot about 1999's Halftime Heat. We would see a smaller stage design used here, given the limitations of the facility, comprised of 3 smaller screens, steel lighting structures, and a ton of lights. The ring area would remain the same as we've seen since the move to Fox. As the months would progress, we would see small additions here and there, including updated lighting and additional LED displays placed around the facility. In August of 2020, SmackDown would move to the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida. The Thunderdome concept would boast a whole new experience featuring, and I quote, a state-of-the-art set, video boards, pyrotechnics, lasers, cutting-edge graphics, and drone cameras. In addition, we would see virtual fans in the arena. While the ring remains the same, we do see the new state-of-the-art set, which features a large video screen on top of a smaller variation with lots and lots of lighting everywhere. It's bright. We would also see this massive structure hanging not far up from the ring, featuring lighting structures, LED panels, and video displays. And for now, this is what the show looks like until further notice. Guys, I really can't believe it's been over 20 years. I haven't watched much in the last few years, but SmackDown used to be a large part of my life, and it was definitely cool going back and reliving some of the designs that the show presented us with. What was your favorite year visually for the show? Let me know in the comments section. As always, I'd like to discuss it with you guys. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you guys back here for the next one.